What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another uniform review video. Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at Red Skull's uniform. In this one here, we have his Secret Empire uniform, the Hydra armor. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this uniform is going to do for him. So the uniform bonus is going to be decrease all damage received by 20%, so we get a little bit of survivability there. And then we have 6 skill changes, so we're pretty much changing everything. His tier 2 passive here, it's just changing, it looks like the increase to his summons stats is now going to be increased by 30% to all attack to himself, because he doesn't have any summons with this uniform, at least I don't think he did. And then we have his increased damage to superhero type by 120% and decreased damage received from superhero type by 20%. So this is actually going to be pretty good for like Scarlet Witch, World Boss, well, maybe he does do energy damage on the 4th skill right there that Scarlet can reflect back at him, but he should be able to do pretty well against Scarlet there, Cable, and of course Quicksilver. So he can be more useful there, but I'm just going to be trying him out against the regular world bosses for today. So let's see what else we have changing here for the skills. He's got 2-second stun. He's got his all defense down here that does apply to world bosses, ignores immunity, stacks up to minus 55%, so that's actually pretty good. His 3rd skill, 2 seconds of stun. Here we have a 15% HP heal, so that's pretty nice, and 5 seconds of damage immunity, so that's really good for the 4th skill. And then on the 5th skill here, we've got a buff that he activates that gives himself a 60% all attack boost. That's pretty crazy. 5% all speed and a 60% crit rate. So don't have to worry about giving him any crit rate because he's going to cap that off pretty much right away. So yeah, you don't need to worry about crit rate for Red Skull here with this uniform, because that's what, 15 seconds and you're on a 16-second cooldown, so there's only going to be 1 second of downtime. So yeah, that's not too bad. Acquire the following effect for 15 seconds. He's going to get, whenever hit, apply a guard hit for 3 hits for 1 second on a 1 second cooldown. So that actually gives him a lot of survivability, because so far with the limited amount of testing I've done with him, his survivability is great when he has this skill up. That guard hit just keeps proccing all the time because it's no percent chance, it's just 1 hit. So he's always guarding. Because he has that 3 hits and it's going to refresh every 1 second. So yeah, it's actually quite a nice skill right there. So let's go ahead and hop into the skill preview and see what the skill animations look like for Red Skull here. Alright, so oh yeah, he's also got the addition of his team up skill there, that 6th skill. Alright, so the first skill here, we have a iframe at the very start, and then he does a few punches and kicks there. So he kicks them, then punches them. 2nd skill, that's the all defense down skill right here. So those little rockets that he shoots applies the all defense down, and that lasts for 10 seconds actually. So that's pretty nice. 10 seconds of all defense down. You can click on it there. Oh yeah, it's just level 1 here in the skill preview, but you can see it's stacked 12 times, so you're not gonna have an issue getting, whoops, accidentally hit the 4th skill there. But there's the 4th skill. That looks pretty cool. That paralyze didn't apply to world bosses, I don't think. Did I read paralyze in the 4th skill? I don't think it said ignore immunity, and from the testing that I was doing with him earlier, it didn't seem like it applied to world bosses. So I'm going to say that no, that paralyze does not apply to world bosses, but he does have damage immunity while using the 4th skill, so he is going to be protected. The start of it is an iframe, but then he loses the iframe, so that's why you have that damage immunity, which is really nice. So he's not going to be completely vulnerable while using that attack. And then the 5th skill right here that gives him the buff, he just kind of powers up right there. He gets the Hydra sigil below him, kind of like how Nick Fury gets the shield insignia below him. So yeah, really cool. So like the skills, and you can see he's all powered up right there with the cosmic cube. Oh, come on, there we go. Let's get that back up. Boom. And as you can see, that shield is just going off all the time. So he pretty much always has that shield blocking, because as you can see, it's activating like instantly. So it seems like even though it says when hit it activates, it seems like that initial hit to activate it is still guarded. So that's what seems to be really powerful about that skill here. Yes, so that's that. So let's go ahead and show my build on Red Skull here, and then we'll hop into a little bit of World Boss to show off his damage some more. So we do have his uniform at rare. For Red Skull here, I believe I did have some of the options. Yeah, Oh, I forgot to level this up. I went ahead and gave him 150 bios. Wait, when did I give him 150 bios? Anyway, we can get an upgrade here. What? Oh, yeah, we need to level this up. Do we have enough chips right now? Been leveling up a lot of uniforms lately, so I've been burning through these EXP chips. Let's go ahead and level this up. You know, I don't think I need it leveled up. Okay, yeah, we're just missing Captain America's endgame uniform, but besides that, I have all the others. So let's go ahead and see what the options were again. Go over here. So yeah, just missing that one. Then it was Moon Girl, which I had, and then Storm, which you just saw that I had. Attack speed, is that fine? What else we got in here? Skill cooldown, ignore defense. Do I need any of those? We'll find out in a second. And then the next option was going to be Iron Man's endgame uniform, which is another one that I do not have. I believe I bought his team suit because I saw a lot of uniforms requiring the team suit versions of all of the endgame uniforms, but no, not this one. This one's the regular endgame, so I guessed wrong on that one. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, okay, I guess we gotta go over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats here before we jump into some gameplay. Okay, we do need more ignore defense, so I will roll that to ignore defense. We also need more skill cooldown as well. He's at 44%, but that's not horrible. For his gears, as you can see, I have no Uru on him right now. For his skills, I have everything leveled up except for the first skill. For his isolate set, we have overdrive, which I actually don't need because I do not need that crit rate at all. So I could go to Power Anger Hulk, because I don't think Power Anger Hulk had crit rate. I can't remember what the other stats were on it. Then we have just a basic obelisk on him right now. Of course, this has crit rate, which it doesn't need it, but this is just the obelisk that I had on him. Luckily, it's only a 140 proc, so it's not going to be super bad for me to delete this and put a new obelisk on him if I decide to kind of upgrade him in the future. But we do have guard break immunity and a 140 proc, and I do like guard break immunity on him just because the fourth skill is going to be one of your most damaging skills, and there is no invincibility or super armor for Red Skull here, so he can get kind of guard broken from that skill. The damage immunity, of course, does protect him from taking damage, but not from getting guard broken, so that's why I do like guard break immunity so far on him. Let's see. Besides that, that's what he's looking like. So yeah, he's almost maxed out on the crit rate anyway, just from my base stats. His crit damage is a little bit low. The attack speed is pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and roll that uniform option and see how much that helps our whatchamacallit, ignore defense. Let's go ahead and change this to ignore defense, please. Ignore defense, please. Ignore defense, please. A little bit more. It's probably not going to give me ignore defense anytime soon. That's just how this works. That's a lot of HPs in a row. There's the ignore defense. That looks like a very, very low roll, but that is fine with me for now. So what are we going to end up with? Almost 47%, so that's looking really good. So let's go ahead and hop into some gameplay here and show off Red Skull. Alright, so here we are over at Proxima. This is a stage 42. Going here because there's no blade twisters, but we're going to be using this team up here with Beast and Valkyrie because Red Skull is a physical damage character, but like I was saying when I was going over his skills, his fourth skill, which is going to be his most damaging skill, is energy damage. So he's not going to be super strong against Proxima here, but we're going to go ahead and bring him in, just see what his other skills can do against Proxima, because that fourth skill is not really going to be hurting her very much. So let's just see what happens here, and then we'll move on to cull obsidian and see what that energy damage looks like. Alright, let's switch on over. Let's get our buff going. Wow, that actually procced our obelisk. So that's a little annoying. So now we're just going to rotate through and then try to get our damage proc. I think on the second skill here, as you can see, that damage is pretty nice actually. So this is on a 6-second cooldown. So yeah, it's not going to always be hitting it. But then if we use this skill here, even with the damage proc, we're not going to see much from the fourth skill. So now let's try to get some damage here. So as you can see, the damage on the second skill is pretty nice. So that's probably what we're going to be using here against Proxima. Let's see. Come on. There we go. We can get... those hits are energy damage, so those didn't do much either. So let's go ahead and do this. Get this buff going, and that actually did a little bit of damage. Not a ton, but we didn't have the all defense down. So let's go ahead and do that. get back to our second skill, and now let's see what we can do here. So yeah, he's doing really good damage with that second skill, so he can do okay against Proxima here, despite only using this skill for his kind of main DPS. And the fifth skill is actually not too bad to proc on as well, but of course the second skill looks like it's going to be the best one to use against Proxima here. So overall, the damage isn't horrible. That damage was better actually. The all defense down was stacked up a little bit there, it seems like. Let's go again here. That or it just procced at the very start of the skill. So it could be that as well. So boom, boom, we did not proc at all. Then look, even with the damage proc, we don't do much of anything with that fourth skill. So yeah, he's looking like he can do okay against Proxima here, but these characters that have their damage kind of split up like that, where they're not like super well suited for one particular world boss and it can kind of double dip, a lot of times they're not as strong as like the single target characters that are just kind of characters that you're just going to be using for that particular world boss, and they don't really work too well with other ones. So let's go ahead and hop over here. We had this stage 44 here because this is the stage that did not have blade twisters. So that's what we're going to go ahead and hop in with. But do keep in mind, cull obsidian is more difficult than Proxima, and this is actually a higher stage than the Proxima run that we just tried. So we can see if his damage really is going to be mainly focused on his fourth skill here. So we're probably going to open with the fourth skill because last time, even though the fifth skill only hits like a few hits, we had the damage proc go off. So I want the... Oh. That's one thing that can be a little bit annoying though about cull obsidian here, is that if you're not mind controlling him, he has those little like micro iframes, so you can kind of get knocked out of your skill very easily, which I do not really like. So we're going to start ramping up our damage here as soon as I get my rotation where I want it to be. There we go. So use the second skill when we have about 3 seconds left. Oh. But nope, our damage proc is a little bit off now, so let's do this a little bit earlier. Get that all defense down to apply. Nope, we still have the damage proc go off. And yeah, damage is okay. So let's go ahead and reset here. Let's go boom. Try to proc. Yes, there we go. We procced on the fifth skill, so that's good. Now we can wait a second, go to the second skill, and proc. Yeah, there we go. So see, the damage looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and do this. Let that go, do the fourth skill, proc, and the all defense down had already worn off, so let's wait a little bit longer here. Go again. All defense down didn't land. As you can see, it's really hard to get the all defense down to stick on cull obsidian. And also one of the other things that I really do not like about cull obsidian is he ignores your guard break immunity, so you really need super armor against him, which is a little bit frustrating because I put these guard break immunity obelisks on a lot of my character for world boss ultimate, and it just does not work really against cull obsidian. It works for some of his attacks, but a lot of his attacks still just guard break you, even with guard break immunity, so it can be a little annoying. And I'm very, very off on my rotation here. We still have the all defense down. Ooh, see, okay, now when we have the all defense down, when it actually sticks on cull obsidian, you can see our damage is a lot better. It didn't stick that time. Let's wait, there we go. Get this to go on. All right, the all defense down stuck this time, but we don't have the buff from the fifth. Oh, and we got canceled out of our skill. See, so those micro iframes, so we kind of need some mind control here for cull obsidian, but overall you can see that when it was lining up with the all defense down and the fourth skill with the damage proc, we're actually seeing some pretty good damage, very similar to our damage against Proxima. So Red Skull can probably do cull obsidian and Proxima about equally, I would say, in terms of his damage. So that is pretty nice if you want a character that can help get a clear on either or. So yeah, the uniform is looking pretty good, very solid damage, and if you notice through this entire time, I didn't have to complain once about his survivability. So his survivability is amazing with this uniform. He's got that heal, he's got that guard hit, he's got iframes. Yeah, so I really like Red Skull's uniform. This uniform is actually pretty nice. So let me know if you want me to do another video on it where I get Red Skull to level 70, because I'm thinking I might want to get him to level 70. And then maybe give him a little bit better obelisk and kind of max out his skill cooldown, ignore defense, that kind of thing. Just get him a little more up to snuff and then try him out again, and then even take him in against like GBR or something like that. But for now, I do like his uniform. I think it looks really strong. So if you like Red Skull, I'd definitely pick up this uniform. But that's just my initial impressions here. So let me know in the comments below how you're liking this uniform. And also, like I said, if you want to see another video on Red Skull in the future. But that's going to be it for this one here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And of course I will catch you in the next one.